Khalid Ibn Walid, famously known as Sayf Allah al-Maslul, or the drawn sword of Allah, was one of the most remarkable military commanders in the history of Islam. His life was a profound journey of transformation, from being a fierce enemy of Islam to becoming one of its most celebrated heroes. His legacy spans across the Arabian Peninsula, Iraq, Persia, and the Levant, and his military genius shaped the destiny of nations. Khalid was born around 592 CE into the powerful Banu Makhzum clan of the Quraysh tribe in Mecca. The Makhzum family was renowned for producing warriors and strategists, and Khalid inherited this martial tradition. He was raised in an environment where military prowess and tribal honor were of utmost importance. As a youth, he was trained in horsemanship, swordsmanship, and battlefield tactics. His early reputation was that of a proud and skilled warrior. When done to Shoutin, the message of Islam began to spread in Mecca under the Prophet Muhammad. Peace be upon him. Khalid was among the staunch opponents. His clan, Banu Makhzum, was closely associated with the leadership of the Quraysh and viewed Islam as a threat to their power. Khalid played a significant role in several early confrontations with the Muslims, most notably during the Battle of Uhud in 625 CE. Khalid led a decisive cavalry charge that turned the tide of the battle against the Muslims after they had initially been winning. His military instinct and tactical mind were already evident even as an enemy of Islam. However, the Treaty of Hudaybiyah in 628 CE marked a turning point. Khalid began to observe the discipline, resilience, and growing influence of the Muslims. He realized that Islam was not just a fleeting movement, but a divine truth supported by the strength of faith and unity. After much contemplation and internal struggle, Khalid decided to embrace Islam. He traveled to Medina with Amr ibn al-As and Uthman ibn Talha, and the three were warmly received by the Prophet Muhammad. Upon his conversion in 629 CE, the Prophet is reported to have said, "A man like Khalid cannot remain ignorant of Islam," and forgave all his past actions. Khalid's entrance into Islam marked the beginning of an extraordinary military career in service of the new faith. His first major engagement was the Battle of Mu'tah in 629 CE, where he assumed command after the martyrdom of Zayd ibn Haritha, Ja'far ibn Abi Talib, and Abdullah ibn Rawaha. Despite being vastly outnumbered by the Byzantine forces, Khalid managed to retreat strategically, preserving the core of the Muslim army. This act of tactical brilliance earned him the title Sayf Allah al-Maslul, the drawn sword of Allah, bestowed upon him by the Prophet himself. Under the caliphate of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, Khalid played a crucial role in the Ridda Wars of apostasy, following the death of the Prophet in 632 CE. Many Arab tribes attempted to break away from Islam, claiming either new prophethood or refusing to pay zakat. Khalid was sent to suppress these rebellions, and he did so with swift, decisive action. His campaigns against Musaylima the liar in the Battle of Yamama and other apostate tribes were critical in preserving the unity of the nascent Islamic State. His leadership during this period reinforced his reputation as the supreme military commander of his time. After securing Arabia, Abu Bakr directed Khalid's attention to external expansion. He was sent to confront the Sassanid Persian Empire in Iraq. There, Khalid's genius shone brightly in a series of battles, among them Ulais, where he reportedly vowed to let the blood of the enemy flow like a river, and Walaja, where he executed a double envelopment maneuver so brilliantly that military historians still study it. Khalid's campaign in Iraq was marked by speed, ferocity, and psychological warfare. He often gave enemies a chance to submit peacefully, but responded with devastating force when they resisted. With Iraq largely pacified, Khalid received orders to assist the Muslim forces in Syria, then under Byzantine control. In one of the most legendary military feats of the early Islamic conquests, Khalid led his army through a desert path to arrive in Syria faster than expected, catching the Byzantines by surprise. He took part in and led several key battles, including the Battle of Ajnadayn, 634 CE, and the Siege of Damascus. However, it was the Battle of Yarmouk in 636 CE that truly cemented his place in history. At Yarmouk, Khalid commanded a vastly outnumbered Muslim force against the mighty Byzantine army. His use of mobile cavalry units, coordinated counterattacks, and terrain manipulation led to a stunning Muslim victory. The Byzantines were routed, and Syria was permanently lost to them. This battle is considered one of the most decisive in history, not only because it shattered Byzantine power in the region, but also because it opened the door to the Muslim conquest of the Levant. Ironically, during the Syrian campaigns, Caliph Umar ibn al-Khattab relieved Khalid of his command and appointed Abu Ubaidah ibn al-Jarrah as the supreme commander. The reasons for this remain a topic of debate. Some say Umar feared people were beginning to attribute victory to Khalid rather than to Allah. Others suggest Umar sought to balance military and political authority. Whatever the reason, Khalid accepted the decision with humility, continued to fight under Abu Ubaidah's leadership, and never showed bitterness or insubordination. His loyalty to Islam was greater than his personal ambition. Khalid Ibn Walid eventually settled in Homs in modern-day Syria, where he passed away around 642 CE. Despite fighting over 100 battles and being wounded countless times, he died on his bed, a fact that greatly saddened him. He reportedly said, "I sought martyrdom in 100 battles, yet here I die on my bed like an old camel. May the eyes of cowards never rest." He died without wealth, without property, and without fanfare, leaving behind a legacy of valor, humility, and unshakable devotion. The story of Khalid ibn al-Walid is one of the most compelling in Islamic history. His name evokes courage, loyalty, and strategic brilliance. Though he was once the sword raised against Islam, he became the sword in its defense. So much so that Allah's messenger gave him a title that would be remembered through the ages. Khalid was not just a warrior. He was a man who submitted to the truth when he saw it, served it with unmatched dedication, and changed the course of history through the power of his faith and the might of his arm. His story continues to inspire, reminding the world that the greatest strength lies not just in the sword, but in the conviction that wields it.